Happy holidays everyone, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm off to my favorite DollarTree to see if I can make a delicious holiday feast with all my favorite dishes for only $20. While I'm there, I'll see what fun holiday items they have to decorate my table. As soon as I saw these Hungry Jack potatoes, I thought about a hash brown casserole, and then when I saw the cream of chicken soup, I realized this would definitely work. They had these huge bags of macaroni, and I'm thinking I could do a baked macaroni and cheese casserole. I wanted to try this Texas-style cornbread, and I threw it in my buggy, but I later swapped it out for some brown and serve rolls, because I do have a lot of casseroles to do, and I figured it'd be one less thing for me to do. If anybody's tried it, though, let me know. I'm dying to know if it's any good. I'm thinking of doing corn as a side dish this time, and I'm kind of going back and forth between the frozen corn and the canned corn, and I'm thinking to myself that with all of the extra added water, that the frozen corn is probably has the most actual corn in it. The Dollar Tree even had these cooked shrimp, which I thought would be great for a shrimp cocktail appetizer. I do like to have some things out for the family to graze on before the dinner is complete. However, we're not a big shrimp family, so I'm going to pass on this. They also had these frozen asparagus spears, which I thought were great. I would normally pick these up, but my kids don't like asparagus, so I'm going to stick with the corn. I thought these little glasses were so cute. I really don't have any storage in my place right now, but if I did, I would have definitely purchased these. And the Dollar Tree had so many cute things to look at. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my tablescape. And when I saw these, I immediately thought about using these around my candle. I've got some white candles, and I thought that'd be great for a centerpiece. And I started digging through these piles, and I found this, it's actually a tree skirt, but I thought I could make some napkins out of it and maybe play around a little bit. And then I found a more patterned, to the left there you can see a more patterned tablecloth. I thought about using that to plate the food on. However, I ended up putting that back. I did pick up 4 silver chargers, and I was using the white plates in the dollar store to see what they would look like along with my napkins. And then here I also picked up some little Santa treat bags, and I'm thinking about using those somehow, maybe baking some homemade cookies and putting in there. I'm not sure quite yet if I'm going to use those or not. And here is everything that I got at the Dollar Tree for $20. And I am so excited about this meal. I've got some delicious recipes to make, and I can't wait to get started. Okay, I'm going to get started by making some single serving size of cheesecakes. And I picked up this mix obviously at the Dollar Tree. But I've got all of the ingredients here. And fortunately, they had this graham crust. And I'm just going to take this and mix that, take the graham crust and put that into single serving size. And I've got the Cool Whip and the cream cheese I was able to get there as well. And I'm going to use these strawberries, and I'm going to add some sugar and make a nice syrup for that. So we'll get started by, I did mash up the cream cheese a little bit. I had to let it sit out at room temperature for a little while, and it was still fairly stiff. But I did take a fork to it to try to blend in the cheesecake mix. Now, if you go to the Dollar Tree and they don't have the graham cracker crust, there's a couple things you can do. Either you can buy graham crackers and then just, chop those up and use those, or you can also get those Nilla wafers and use those. Those will be a little bit different, but also work out. Okay, then when I get that to the consistency that I want, I'm going to go ahead and fold in the Cool Whip. I'm just gently going to fold it in. This is going to make it nice and light and fluffy. And then I purchased these little cups at the Dollar Tree. And I wanted to see what they look like in them. I just love doing individual servings of whether it be a dessert, appetizer, a main course. I just think it looks, it elevates it a little bit, and it makes it look more interesting, I would say, as well. I love using these cheesecake mixes. They're very versatile, so you can use these in many different ways. If you want to try key lime cheesecake, all you have to do is add a little bit of green food coloring and some lime juice. You can also add pineapple juice and flavor it that way. Maybe add some pineapple tidbits in there. You could top it with fresh blackberries. There's so many different ways that you can go with this, and I just love it for that. But then we're going to go ahead and, after we've layered a couple of layers with the cheesecake and the graham crust, we're going to we're going to top it with the graham, pat it down so that you don't have any air in there, and then it's going to look a little bit better from the side when you hold it up. And that really is the trick to a nice looking layer, is making sure that you've got it all packed down in there. And I did have to heat up water for the back of my spoon. I would put it in the hot water, and then it would help not to stick to the cheesecake mix. And you can use a butter knife to level them off. These turned out so cute. And we're going to put these in the fridge to chill for a while. And you can actually make these a day or two in advance. But we're going to pull these out right before we eat them. And we'll top them with the berry mix at that time. Hey guys, if you like my video so far, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And it will enable me to make more content for you. And now we're going to make the berry topping. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Just drop in the berries into a pan and bring that to a boil. I'm going to break up some of the larger strawberries, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar. And you're going to add just as much as you like, so you'll taste it as you go. Add more or less, however you prefer. And then we'll let that boil down, and it's going to automatically thicken on its own. I like to add a little bit of sea salt, just for a complexity of the flavor, a little bit more of a depth profile. And then, like I said, it'll automatically thicken. So you can add more water as well. The only time that I would add some starch is if I was adding a lot of water, if I was trying to make a lot of syrup. But otherwise, I don't use starch at all. And then we'll just put it in a bowl, and we'll have that on the standby to top our cheesecakes with. The scent of the sweet potatoes cooking made the whole house smell delicious. Up next, we're making a baked, Southern-style macaroni and cheese casserole. We're just going to boil the macaroni until it's al dente, and then we're going to drain it. The egg in this recipe is what makes it Southern style, and Southern style is more like a custard. So if you want your macaroni to be a little bit more creamier, go ahead and leave the egg out, and that'll work. And then we'll just layer the macaroni with the shredded cheese and the milk mixture. And now it's time to decorate my table. I ended up using the same tablecloth that I purchased for Thanksgiving, the black and white checker tablecloth that I got for $2.97. I basically flipped that over so that the white side was showing, and then I topped it with the Dollar Tree tablecloth that I got. I knew it would be thin. I knew it would be paper thin, actually, and I wanted something to be underneath it so it would look a little bit better for the table. And then I ended up using these chargers that I got from the Dollar Tree. I already did have these plates, the white plates, on hand. And here I'm just using this garland that I found at the Dollar Tree. I'm just using it in little pieces to tie up the napkins. I just really thought it looked cute that way. I went back and forth on how to use that, whether I wanted to actually help you make a centerpiece with that, or if I wanted to use the napkins. I thought this was the best use. And here I was trying to decide whether I wanted to use the red napkins or the white napkins, but with the red of the table skirt on the table, I ended up going with the white. I didn't show it in the video, but I did purchase these little mirrors, and I was thinking about using them as a centerpiece underneath this candle, but I wasn't sure if I was going to paint it either a dark red or white, and in this instance I decided to go ahead and paint it white. I do have these little craft paints on hand. They're about $1 each. I get them at Michael's or Joann's Fabrics, and I use them constantly when I'm painting or decorating for the table. And now I can't wait to show you the most interesting dish of the night. It is ham and stuffing rolls. And I got the idea from Deanna, one of my subscribers. And hopefully I did it justice. I'm not sure. It was my first time making it. However, we're going to go ahead and get started by making the stuffing mix according to the package directions. And I have to say, this is my second time making the stuffing, and I love the stuffing. It has wonderful flavor, and it smells delicious as soon as you pour that water into the mix and start mixing it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start forming little rolls, and we'll start with the stuffing mix and we'll place it inside the ham rolls. And here I just started with one, but I think in retrospect I should have layered it with a little bit thicker slices of ham. I think that would have looked prettier on the plate. So, but here I'm just rolling it with one slice. And then once we have that rolled up, we're going to place another layer of the stuffing on the outside. Another thing too is that I would have done differently on this is I didn't have any gravy because I didn't have any mashed potatoes on the menu, I should say. But had I had some gravy added to the meal, we could have poured that gravy over the top. Again, and because of the fact that I used ham, they didn't have any turkey slices at the Dollar Tree at the time that I was shopping, so I did need to go ahead and go with the ham rolls. And I wasn't sure what kind of gravy I would want to have on the top of that. And now it's time for my favorite dish of the night, the Hashbrown casserole. I was looking on Bon Appetit and I saw a recipe for a Hashbrown casserole, and I decided that when I saw this Hungry Jack hash browns at the Dollar Tree, I thought maybe I could modify that recipe a little bit and make it with just a few ingredients. And that's what I did. I'm going to grate the pepper jack for the casserole, but while I've got this pepper jack out, I'm going to go ahead and dice it up because the rest of the cheese that I'm not using, I'm going to place in a bowl and serve with crackers. Okay, we're getting back to the hash brown casserole now. We're going to go ahead and heat the cream of chicken soup up in the pan and mix it with a little bit of butter. Now, if you have some sour cream and you like sour cream, the original recipe does call for sour cream, so go ahead and throw that in if you want. If not, it tastes delicious without it. So we're going to go ahead and mix that up with the hash brown potatoes. And I did add in the grated pepper jack cheese. And guys, I will also leave a link to the original recipe down below. And we're going to spray the pan so that they don't stick. And then we're just going to layer them. One other ingredient that the original recipe called for were sliced green onions. So if you have those and you want to add those in as well, feel free. But again, it's not necessary. I'm going to go ahead and bake these uncovered at about 400 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. This was hands down everyone's favorite recipe of the night, and it made the house smell amazing when it was cooking. It was delicious. And now I'm going to make deviled eggs for an appetizer. And this is everything that you need, should already be in your cabinet. It does show Hungarian paprika there, but you can use any kind of paprika that you have. And if you don't have paprika, it's really just for looks anyway, so really not necessary. It's just something I sprinkle on the top. But here we're going to go ahead and add some mayonnaise and mustard. And we're just going to beat this up with the egg yolks and add a little salt and pepper to taste. And then we're going to mix that thoroughly until it's creamy. And then fill the shells, and that's pretty much it, except for a sprinkle of paprika over the top. These deviled eggs are a huge hit in our family. They're always the first thing to be eaten. And now I'm going to prepare the cranberry sauce. I had these little cookie cutter shapes, and so I used hearts to cut out the cranberry sauce. And it was fairly easy. And then I just placed them on a little plate, and I had some paper from the little gift bags, the Santa Claus gift bags that I wanted to use. I really liked the look of the snow, and so I placed it underneath my heart-shaped cranberry sauce segments. And then this is really important. After I placed them on the plate, I covered them with a paper towel. And cranberry sauce always releases a little bit of liquid as it sits. So by having the paper towel on the top, it absorbed that. And when it was time to serve it, I just removed the paper towel and set it out, and it still looked amazing. I actually didn't think it would work, but it was perfect. Okay guys, here are the dinner picks, and I wanted to start with this ham stuffing roll. The kids love that. In fact, it was a toss-up between what was better, this or the hash brown potatoes. I say that I did throw in a picture here with the rolls with gravy. I made that actually the next night because they wanted me to make those again, and I did have some leftovers, and this time I threw some gravy on top. You definitely want to serve it with gravy. It is delicious like that. So, and then here's a picture of a carafe that I used. I did purchase cranberry raspberry juice, and I poured it into my empty carafe just because it looked better to serve it that way. So I've got that on the table there, and here are just the remainder of picks from my dinner, and I do hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for watching my video, and happy holidays, everyone.